The term wisdom or hikmah, in Hebrew it's the hokmah, and in Syrian the hekmeta, is used in different ways in the Quran. Initially, it refers to Muhammad's preaching. Then, it is interchangeable with the sacred revealed book. And specifically, the hikmah refers to the Quran itself. The Quran is the hikmah. The original meaning of wisdom is seen in its application to David and the sage Luqman. And we don't know who Luqman is because he's not in the Bible. So this is some guy they created. In the latter case, it is explained by Tabari as knowledge of religion, knowledge of reason and truth. The hikmah is the gnosis, the knowledge. It's not explicitly defined. It's fluid, right? But the hikmah in Islam derives from the Egyptian god Thoth, we know as Hermes Trismegistus. He brought the hikmah to the Islamic religion. So the knowledge of religion is the true science. It is also science. It is the true knowledge. Lloyd, that's not all they are flaunting. I know, it's pretty disgusting. Yeah, they're on the right side of history because they know they're nonsense. Yeah, of course, it's all nonsense. It makes sense. Luther was very scrupulous. The only way he could feel secure with his salvation was to make salvation entirely deterministic, therefore out of his control. Exactly. Exactly. The man had some issues. Once I'm saved and I'm eternally secure, I won't need... Yeah, so... Okay, yeah. So let me... Right, I think we should perhaps... Let me finish this slide and then I'll end. Okay. We've spoken about this. Let me just see. Okay, I'll end on this slide. So... In Islam, you've got the Ahruf, right? The science of letters. So when they speak of this knowledge of religion, knowledge of reason, knowledge of truth, they're not speaking about science the way we know it. They're speaking about gnosis, but they're also speaking of the occult, right? So we all know about this. I've done this many times before, but for those who are new to this, I often speak on my channel about these issues, right? So the Ahruf in Islam are the different ways of reading the Quran. In other words, you can read the Quran as a spiritual text, but as a text for doing occult magic, for doing ritual magic, for determining... It's a text used for spiritual alchemy, for transforming your soul into the perfect man, for also joining you, giving you communion with Allah so that your soul joins back with Allah and you are connected to the ultimate, which is Allah, right? And they speak here of the major meaning of the Ahruf, which, of course, Muslim scholars claim no one knows what it means, really. It's just reading its word. Yes, it means those things. It's a word, it's an interpretation or a dialect, certainly, but those are minor meanings. The major meaning is the science of letters. Onomatomancy, right? In the esoteric sects, it became a sort of magical practice. They gave it the name of Samiya, or white magic. Of course, in Islam, white magic and black magic are effectively synonymous. It is based on the occult properties of the letters of the alphabet and the divine and angelic names which they form. These basic elements, three basic elements are involved in onomatomantic interpretation: arithmomancy, or gematria, and other things, right? So they are doing magic. It is also based on alchemy, so the natural properties of the letters. So these unknown letters of the alphabet, the unknown pieces of the Quran, right? These little verbs like alif, lim, mam, and so on, they have certain occult ritual values. It's based on alchemy and the astrological conjunctions. And you have 28 letters of the Arabic alphabet, which are divided into 4 categories, each of 7 letters, corresponding to the 4 basic elements. And they speak of fire, air, water, and earth. And they speak of 2 others as well, sun and moon. There are 2 more. And they speak of rhapsodomancy and onomatomancy. So the sacred text is here used in the same spirit as rhapsodomancy, right? And certain formulae of a magical and superstitious nature can have, based upon suitable Quranic verses, letters drawn from these verse words, names of angels, prophets of God, and so on. So once you can determine the secret names of the eons, of the angels, you can manipulate them to do things for you. It's a way of manipulating the occult world to do things for you. And this science is extensively developed in Islam. But notice here, hence those varied elements are treated just as the science of properties treats animals, plants, and minerals, by calling attention to the sympathy and antipathy which exists between them. Because when you go into Darwinism and you look at where Darwin got his ideas, which are derived from pagan Greek science, pagan Greek philosophers, okay, and sophists from 2,500 years ago, when you go back, so you basically go back to pre-BC pagan ideas which existed in the pre-BC pagan era. That's where Darwin's ideas come from. But those same ideas are also present in Islam. And these ideas, so Darwin's ideas are really just myth-making, paganism, poetry, which he then wraps in this beautiful wrapping called science, just as Islam takes occultism and calls it a science and calls it a religion. So I think I should go through the comments, see that I missed anything, and then end it here.